Hello friends, today we will discuss on the concept of nationalism by Rabindranath Tagore. In this particular video, we would like to illustrate the points of Rabindranath Tagore on nationalism. It is itself a book written by Rabindranath Tagore. Before, it was around 1913 when he was giving lectures for nationalism for Japan, nationalism for Western countries, and even nationalism for India. So this video will be particularly on a study of nation and politics in the light of Tagore's nationalism. I am Devnath Madhuk. I am from the Jendralal College. I am making this video. So let's see what is next. So, definition of a nation according to Wikipedia. First of all, to discuss about nationalism, we need to know that what is the definition of a nation according to the Wikipedia. It says that a nation is a stable community of people formed on the basis of common language, territory, economic life, ethnicity, or psychological makeup manifested in a common culture. So that was the definition of a nation. Commonly says, but what is the definition of a nation according to Tagore? It says a nation in the sense of political and economic union and union of people, and is that aspect which a whole population assumes when organized for a mechanical purpose. It is an aspect of a whole people as a organized power. So according to Tagore, the concept of nationalism is it is a aspect of whole people as an organized power. It is just for the administrative purpose, otherwise that is not so much important. So you can see that nation is a Western countries concept, but no nation is for the Eastern countries. If we go back to the past of India, that we will find that there was no concept like nation. All the provinces were divided into small kingdoms, and there was very less powerful, more powerful people who used to influence all the authority. But there was as such no concept of nation, because you can see that India, Western Cholas are there, in the Eastern countries there are many things, and in the Bihar you will find that Pataliputra and the much more things. There were the provinces were divided into many kingdoms. There was small rulers, they were got influenced by the more powerful one, but there was no such a political map, no such a concept of nation before before coming of Britishers. Even throughout the all history of India, we will find that concept of nation is for the Western countries, but no nation is Eastern countries. There was no concept of nation in Eastern countries. So transformation of India as a country to transformation of India as a nation. So when India as a country to nation happens, it started in 1757 by the Polashi Mutiny. In Swadeshi movement, it became the prominent. So the concept of nation, you might feel that what is country and what is nation. In case of country, you will find that in 1757 there was not such a organized power, administration, rules, regulation. There was no such things. Britishers just came there and they tried to influence all around the India. And in the Swadeshi movement, it becomes prominent because they were trying to subdue the Indians' feelings, Indians' revolution, just to prevent their position, just to save their position from attacking by the Indians. So it started in 1757. That was completely country. All the people were going around wherever they liked. The rulers were ruling their party. But in the time of Swadeshi movement, it became the prominent because they started many more laws, many more Charter Act, Pitt's India Act, many more acts are there, Milo Monte reforms, many more reforms are there getting, and they are transforming India in as a country to as a nation. and through this we are still a nation because we are adopting the constitution. Of course it is needed, but I am trying to make out the point that there was no concept of nation before before coming of the Britishers. There was country, all the people were working, there was as such no rules. I am not talking about the good things or bad things of India as a country or nation. So this is the transformation is happening by the Britishers. With the hand of Britishers, we are transforming as a nation, and it became prominent at the time of independence. So Tagore criticized his books the concept of nationalism, hyper-national masculine aggressiveness, and its disease with nationalism in his novel Gora and Ghore Baire. We will find that in Gora and Ghore Baire we will find the hyper-masculine aggressiveness. The concept of nationalism is not only fighting with the blind concept of or blind love for the evil things which are being done by our nation. That is not the concept. We will find the effect of that in that particular novel Gora and Ghore Baire. If you watch the cinema, you will definitely see what is happening at the time of Swadeshi movement. Organization of selfishness of nation and replication of alien concept of nation in India. So organizing selfishness. So selfishness is being attributed to with us by the Britishers, and it is replicated of alien concept of nation in India by us. So self-destructive tendency of a nation and homogenized universalism. So we are all around the world, we are universal. We have to accept that fact. So these things are criticized by Rabindranath Tagore on in his book Nationalism. Snatching of freedom, one-sided nationalistic zeal. So snatching of freedom, we are snatching of freedom from another, and one-sided nationalistic zeal are there. That has been totally criticized in his book Nationalism. Tagore's thought on nation. So Tagore is criticizing that one-sided zeal on nationalism. So what is the concept of Tagore? What Tagore wanted to say, and what he says in his book Nationalism. India never had a real sense of nationalism, and that Indians' reverence for God and ideal humanity need not be replaced European concept of limited national identity. So India had never the concept of nation. But Europeans' concept of nation is very much limited. India has the reverence for God and ideal of humanity. It is based on ideal of humanity. If we see the Vivekananda, Rabindranath Tagore, many more people talked about the humanity. Even Gandhiji, as a political, in spite of being a political leader, he always says for the humanity. He worked for the many more social reformation. So God and ideal humanity is the base of Indian civilization. They believe on that particular thing from very ancient time. Freedom and unity of mankind were two very important aspects of Indian civilizational values. Freedom and unity of mankind. There must be freedom, freedom of mind, freedom of working. So freedom and unity of mankind, all the mankind should be united as a country, not as a nation. In case of India, there are 29 states in India. You will find there are many more language, 22 language accepted by the constitution, and many more languages are there. Many people are coming from different caste, religion, races. They are united each other. India is all embracing age-old vision of humanity. So India believe in unity in diversity, which is been said by Vincent Smith. Many more people came to India, and they appreciate India for being united in spite of having the diversity in that. So this includes the whole world and reject any kind of narrow nationalism. Asian identity is just not for poverty and suffering. Britishers always tried to show Indians or India as a poverty and suffering and endless superstition, this type of things. But actual picture of India not like that. they have to confess these things. They are confessing these things, that is called spirituality. But at that time they always tried to show that India is a poverty and is a country of suffering, snake charming, this type of things said by the Britishers. But India always has the endless quest for the inner peace and spiritual freedom that binds all mankind together. That is the most important factor. Through the military power or narrow concept of nationalism, we cannot unite or bind all the mankind together. We can bind all the mankind with the endless quest for inner peace and spiritual freedom. That has been always a good thing for India. So Tagore's thought on nationalism, nation. Tagore's thought on nation. Other was never a source of reference to define one's own identity. So other, we cannot express our identity, we cannot describe our identity with the reverence of others. So with the reverence of others concept, we cannot define our own nation, as it was for the Europeans. For the reason, few English scholars studied India in a very sympathetic insight. Very few British scholars studied Indian literature with a sympathetic meaning before the independence. But now the scenario is a little bit different from the past. No nation protect itself in terms of project itself in terms of mine and thine. So no nation project themselves in terms of mine and thine. They cannot project these things. So struggle for dominance. We are all fighting for the dominance. In a family, we are fighting for the dominance. I am a boy, I am a girl, and then I am from this house. Then we are fighting with our neighbors, and then neighbors, we are fighting with many more things. We are fighting for the panchayat video, then we are fighting for the district level, and all the district are in a dominance. Which is the best district in West Bengal, which is the most powerful district in West Bengal, is been portrayed on at the time of election. And after the district level, all the state are fighting for the national level, who are going to be the prominent in the parliamentary system, in the parliament, who would be the prime minister. So all the state are fighting for that, and all the state are united at the time of nation, at the time of country. And all the country and the continent, a SARC like institution, which is South Asian regional country. So there is a mistake on that particular slide. Country and continent are fighting for the international relation. Country and fighting in case of, if we have some debate or issues with America and Asia, so we will definitely united ourselves with Asia. All the Asian countries will be united against the America or any other countries. So this is a struggle of dominance. But at the end, we will find that we are all are universal. We are striving for the mankind, and we are striving for the good thing. So that was we are striving for para, town, district, major festivals. Then the which is the best struggle of social enrichment. At the previous slide, we tried to get out the political dominance, who are powerful. We wanted to showcase that, but in this particular side, we are finding that struggle of social enrichment, which region's culture is more enriched than the others. So para, town, district, major festival are coming out. If we hear about the Krishnanagar, then we will find, obviously we would say that it is famous for the Jagadhatri Puja. If we talk about Kolkata, it will obviously for Durga Puja and this type of festivals. So major important and good things are coming out each one of the para, town, district, even from the state. Important culture of that particular state. If we went to Kashmir, their culture is different. If we went to Manipur, their culture is different. If we went to the southern part, we will find their culture is different. So what is the best things that are coming out from that particular area? So what is the best struggle of social enrichment? That is the most important thing. culture of the nation, best thing of all state, and international level, which are the best things that are coming out from that particular continent, from the particular country. So continent, at the continental level, best thing of the many country is spirituality of Asia. Asia is famous for the spirituality. So everything is part of the whole world, and border is merely a distinction of territory for administrative purpose. All the borders are given for the sake of administrative purpose. We are dividing all the places in case of administrative purpose. There are 23 districts till now in West Bengal. All are divided just for the administrative purpose. I am from Nadia, you are from Hooghly, so we don't have much different, but we are from a different area just because of the administrative purpose. If all the districts are same, if all the states are same, then all the nation should be same. It all are divided just for the administrative purpose, nothing else. India has always sought to find oneness in existing thorough multifarious of the universe. Tagore's philosophy to become one with nature and trying to control or not to trying control or win it, to have the ecological oneness have become important for us. So Tagore's philosophy was that we don't want to win or control it, but we have to have the ecological oneness to have to become united. So that was the main concept of Tagore's. One must find unity which is not political. We are united just because of political. If we are not united with our heart, with our humanity, then we are not united at all. If a police came and says that you all have to be at the same place, we will be at the same place, but from not at the at our heart, depth of our heart. But if we love each other, if they separate us, but we will be same at our mind. Tagore had dreams of divine kingdom. One should feel his existence in the world as a member of divine nation. From onward, the anxiety that each other country has for its own safety. So India is concerned about his own safety. China is concerned about his own safety. China is thinking India can attack on us. India is thinking Pakistan can attack on us. So they are ensuring their own safety. For that purpose, they are doing such a work. But if we don't have such a thought process in our mind, then we will be safe. We don't need. We would not have to spend lots more money on that particular issue, but practically it is quite impossible for us, because our mindset is developed in such a way that we cannot believe blindly on a particular person, but we can have the faith, have the concept of humanity all over the world, for all over the mankind. Tagore has says in a quotation, I will persist in believing that there is such a thing as harmony of completeness in humanity, where poverty does not take away riches, where defeated may lead him to victory, and compensation of eternal justice, those who are the last may yet have their insult transmuted into a golden triumph. So in case of Tagore's, Tagore is saying that in quotation that he will persist in believing, he will be believing. If world is destroyed, that is not the matter. He will be persist in believing that there is such a thing that is like harmony of completeness in humanity, where poverty would not take away from the riches, where the defeated may lead the team and they can get the golden triumph. So it is a totally concept of love, humanity, and moral and ethical values. So polity. A nation is a machinery of commerce and politics, turning out neatly compressed bales of humanity which have their use and high market value. Polity is the core Western civilization, and society is the core of Indian civilization. Polity is the main important thing of Western civilization, but and society is the core of Indian civilization. So polity is the most important that is for the Western civilization, and society is important for the Indian civilization. European gives importance to the freedom, and European gives importance to the freedom, and Indians give importance to the liberation of soul. Tagore was internationalist. For that reason, he reformed his own understanding on. He formed his own understanding of it. It was necessary for us to fight against social injustice rather than political freedom, work for adjustment for the races, acknowledging the real difference between them, yet to seek some basic unity. So we have to have the basic unity. Not to accept any violent exclusive patriotism as our final spiritual shelter, but seek refuge in humanity. But in today's world, we will find if you saying something, you are criticizing any policy of the government, there would be some cases against you. So we are losing our ability to speak, our ability to protest. With the strong opposition, the government can be a better government, but we are forgetting this particular topic. In today's world, if you are saying against anything against Modi, then you are definitely you are going against the country. So this is not the case. We have to understand, we have to criticize the government just for the betterment of our country. We are not criticizing for the government. We are just making aware of the fault things which seems fault to me, but that might be right, but I need to have my right to say on that particular topic. So who are the fittest people to lead the country? According to Tagore, those who are gifted with moral power. He need to have the moral power of love and vision of spirituality. Unity must have the unity, like India like country must have the concept of unity among them, who have the least feeling for enmity against the aliens and the sympathetic insight to place themselves in the position of other, will be the fittest person to take permanent place in the age that is lying before us. At the future, we need to have such a people who will have the moral power, love and vision of spirituality, and obvious and most importantly, he need to have the concept of unity, which is missing now, who have the least feeling of enmity against the aliens and the sympathetic insight to place themselves in that particular position of other, will be the fittest person to take permanent place in the age that is lying before us. Importance of Tagore's ideas on nation, state and community both are important for him. Both are complementary to each other. So state and community both are important. Tagore's attitude to politics and culture, nationalism and internationalism, tradition and modernity, and cross-culture education can be seen in the light of strong attachment to the importance of living in the freedom and reasoning in the freedom. We must be reasonable in our freedom, and we must have the freedom in our living. Unity through acknowledgement of difference that India has offered to the world. India has learned all the world that unity through the acknowledgement of difference. We have to acknowledge the different things. Through that, we will be the leading thing on our world in terms of humanity, not in terms of political power. Nationalism has turned into ethnic politics, which is creating many problems. Here, enlightened thought is needed for us to understand. In the name of nationalism, political parties are hiding their corruption, but Tagore's enlightened, thought-provoking ideas of nation arouse hope for unity of mankind and plural notion of nation. We have to accept many more things. Through that, we will be more enlightened and more great nation, great country as India. In the name of organization, in name of nationalism, some political party are hiding their corruption because they are doing some bad work. If you criticize that, then they would say that you are talking against the country, you need to be at the time in jail. So they are hiding their fault. We have to be concerned on that particular. As a responsible citizen of India, we need to understand it, and we need to fight against that. That was me. I am Devnath Modok. I am an English Honours graduate, Dijen Rural College. I have completed my graduation in 2019. That was about me. You can see, and thank you. I'd like to say you that if you want to give some comments on that, there is any fault or any wrong thing I have said, please forgive me, and don't forget to inform me in the comment section. I'll be waiting for your valuable comments. Thank you. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.